Welcome to yet another episode of The View. In studio today, my colleagues Ruth, Ambrose, and there's a new face. Well, let's introduce herself.
Charity.
Alright, today we'll be looking at the current state of the movement. Why is there a lot of laxity? We are not seeing a lot of activity in the LGBTI movement. We are not seeing a lot of activity from the politicians or the fundamentalists. What would you say is the cause of this?
Thank you, the moderator. Yes, basing on the previous situations, we can see now we're in a moment I can call there is a lot of calmness. We are no longer seeing the aggressiveness we used to see in the beginning. Of course, these times of maybe Semper running after we are in the court and everything. But that can be attributed to many reasons. One, after the bill was annulled, there was a situation where maybe it was like a setback for the fundamentalists. Yeah, maybe their cause they are fighting for, they saw somehow it was somehow brought to an end. But again, also, it doesn't mean they have given up. Maybe they are back in they are doing some underground work. Of course, based on an example of the case of Muiru, maybe that means they haven't given up. They are planning something. And even many incidents have been coming up. You hear someone has been attacked. Maybe they are doing some work, but they don't want currently to come out and expose their plan out. But again, also to the side of the movement, activists also, this goes to funding and everything. There is like this is a period of people struggling. There is a lot of struggling, organizations, funding and everything. For the donors, maybe to them they think all the efforts stopped at the bill, and of course, which is so different. The bill being validated and everything doesn't mean that the situation has ended. There's still homophobic attacks, and actually, this is the time when the movement needs more of this more of their support. So, also again, the election process also has brought this. Yeah, my colleagues will take from there, but that's my
What's your opinion?
I think we need to give credit to the activists who did the work. In the past, we see a lot of work was put into ensuring that realities of LGBTI people get understood without bias. People get to understand that we are human beings, we are people. While it used to be that the negative side used to always speak up so much about the LGBTI community, the activists put in effort to fight back. I think while we're currently a bit calm and everything, as a movement, we're trying to enjoy our efforts. We did a lot of work. This is a time for us to sit back and say, okay, we're not relaxed, but we're taking time to enjoy the fruits of our work.
And Charity, what do you think is happening on the other side? Why is everybody else quiet, apart from the movement itself?
I think it's because of the current situation. Because now the atmosphere now is full of politics. Amama, Game 7, the artists, the what. So people have given politics more attention and they've forgotten about the bill. But I think it will come back after the politics, because now the space will be cleared. So now we go back and table the bill.
Right. Someone mentioned funding, and it is my understanding that the funding in the community right now is really low. Do you think this could have anything to do with the fact that there's no activity at all? The funders feel like, after all, why are we sending in our money to a movement that's not doing much at the moment?
Thank you very much. But this is somewhat like double-sided, of course. We see one, the funders think because much of the attention was put on the bill, so they think maybe, and maybe for them they have it in the mind that it was because of this bill that more of the homophobic attacks were taking place. People are being maybe disowned, people are being chased from their houses by their landlords. But again, they forget that the issue of homophobia even is prevails even without these laws and everything, because this is something which exists within our societies, even minus the laws and everything. So the funding, the funders, for them now, they think there is not much to maybe invest in to fight against. Maybe they see there's no something like an aggressive force to fight against. Maybe they see the fundamentalists have maybe somehow kept a low profile. But this is the time we need them. This is the time the movement needs them a lot, because however much, because we wouldn't have seen this influx of people going to Kenya. This is something to tell that however much the bill was maybe invalidated, but still there is a lot going in the society. However much maybe it's not somehow, because before journalists would drive through and everything, but now maybe even their reporting has somehow gone down because they think much was put on the bill. But the donors, they are cutting this because, to me, they think the bill was the major have to invest in to make sure that the activists fight this bill down.
I think a lot of issues are being put in. Ambrose has explained everything in a very compartmentalized way. We first need to analyze the funders and their contribution to the movement, to the struggle for human rights. Yes, you found us here fighting before you came in. You come in and highlight so much the lives of the LGBTI here, because now we hear people talking about gay money and how gay people will have a lot of money coming in from funders, which is not the reality. When they come in here and give us support in whichever way they do, assume under the assumption that we are fighting the anti-homosexuality bill, and now that it is done with, you pull out your money, it doesn't make sense to us. It actually sets back the movement. Let's picture a situation if we weren't getting funding from the international community. The LGBT movement will still be here, will not be so visible, which brings us back to the point that when you're here, when you come in and highlight our plight as a LGBTI community, as people fighting for human rights, there is no point at which you can decide to sit back and say, okay, we are pulling out our funding. You don't realize that when you pull out your funding simply because of this one issue you came for, there's a lot of issues that have come out of that small space. Yeah, I think most organizations, most grassroots organizations are sitting back and saying, we cannot do the work because funders have pulled out of their money, they have pulled out their support because they came in to support advocacy against the anti-homosexuality bill, and now that it is done, there's an assumption that there's nothing else to fight, which is not the issue. I think,
Which brings me to my next question, which will go to Charity. Say a day comes when all the funders say we are done with the movement, there are other things that we want to invest our money in. What would be the state of the movement? Do you think all these activities would still go on?
I think most of the activities will go down. Fact being that we depend on donor funds. And the funders are the major people who give us the money to develop the activities, to do this. And since most of the outside countries are not so homophobic like Uganda, most of the support comes from the other side. And it's very hard to find that people in Uganda, other Ugandans, other funders in Uganda who may fund some of the community activities, other charitable organizations. It's very hard for them to fund gay activities or the activities of the LGBTI community. So I think once they stop,
that would be the death of the movement.
Not
in your
really,
opinion.
okay, but I'm sure it will go down.
I don't think the movement would actually die without the funders.
Yes.
Well, okay, yes, a lot would change, but the Ugandan LGBTI movement has been here for almost 13 years. It has created a lot of big names. The big names should be using. I hope I'm not stepping on anyone's toes. The movement has created a lot of celebrity activists. Let's say the funders do pull out at a certain point and say we have other spaces to invest our money. This movement has grown from that space where we are in fully and also depending on donor funding. There's, if we can go back and structure ourselves in a space that says we can be self-sustaining without the funders, we might not be able to do it at the level at which we do it with the funders, but there is a lot we can do without them if we can structure ourselves to be self-sustaining.
Alright, now let's move on from the funding and talk about a trend. I don't know if I'm using the right word with trend, but that is what it seems like. With most LGBTI, especially the youth, crossing over to Nairobi, seeking asylum, and what is going on there?
To me, I'm sorry, some may say I've sounded harsh on this, but really, yes, we see some people have gone and their cases are verified. This person really has been passing through a lot, but some have gone. There's that bandwagon effect, you know. I've seen my friend on social media posting life well in Canada and everything. I should leave this Uganda and what. Maybe the truth is, most of our youth here, most of the movement people, the young guys in the movement, they don't want to work, you know. They will say, Ambrose is living well, but I toil a lot to work like any other guy, and I don't have that time, that comfort to be in parties and everything. I spare time to work, you know. But for them, they will bring that issue of sexuality to front, to you know, to be as a ticket for everything. And there's no free thing in this world, you know. We have to work hard. So there is that, of course, you know. I know when I go to Kenya, I will get that facilitation from highest. Then from there, I see it as a person. But of course, I won't say that I'm against that. But some people had verified cases, but some just went with the bandwagon effect. So I attribute that to people who have. Of course, we are still living in this homophobic environment. But why is it that we are still pushing on and working, you know? So there is the laziness factor. People don't want to work, and people want
to give you skills to actually do something with yourself. These skills I'm giving them to you for free, but you still expect me to give you money after it, as in what is it, per diem or transport refund. It's an enabling situation. So people don't come to actually learn. They are coming to get the transport refund that you're giving them. So we've come to that space where people feel like every time I go somewhere, every time I get involved in a community event, I expect a money kickback, which is very wrong, as it's enabling that situation of, I don't know if we're being lazy, I don't know if we're just being unresourceful or whatever it is, but our movement needs to go back to that space where it says, okay, yeah, the funders came here with that thinking of just like our advocacy was over. We are doing so bad, oh my God, we are doing so bad, we are so bad. We are not there. We've had 10 years to grow from that space of self-pity, of branding ourselves as very poor, dying people. We're not those people now. The movement needs to go back and we tell our own people that it is not all about the money you're getting. Yes, those funders are coming here to give you 20,000 when you sit in that space, but you should go in that space to actually learn. Don't think about the money that 20,000 they are giving you. 20,000 is very little money. Other than if you get the skills that we're giving in that room, you can go back and do a lot of things with yourself. You don't start branding yourself of because I'm a lesbian, no one is going to employ me because I wear a lot of jeans. What do you mean?
And we forget that the fact that our people who started our movement, they began the movement not at that code of money attachment, you know. Because when you read the history and even when you hear testimonies, people would tell you they would share 1,000, you know, work movements to go for attend meetings, you know. But this time, even when you bring these services near to people, even when you say we have a VCT session today, people are going to come for testing, we have maybe tried to struggle to get some small resources and hire out maybe some doctors, some counselors. People will still ask, is there transport refund? But again, I'm caring about your life. Just again, we're asking work movements to go for attend meetings, you know. But this time, even when you bring these services near to people, even when we say we have a VCT session today, people are going to come for testing, we have maybe tried to struggle to get some small resources and hire out maybe some doctors, some counselors. People will still ask, is there transport refund? But again, I'm caring about your life. Again, you're asking, is there transport refund? So the movement really, this trend has to end to the money attachment issue, on everything we do.
I think the other thing people assume wrongly is that they think that they are a special class of people. Sometimes they treat themselves as if they are disabled. Oh my God, I'm a stud, I can't work here, so let me just go back home, I sleep, I look for this person to take care of me. Yet there are some people who are very creative, even the disabled. You find them working, find someone doing something, at least doing some washing for someone, then they get the money. But should I say some people are lazy and they don't want to work, maybe because of their orientation or their sexuality. So they think since I'm a stud, they won't let me work here. But why can't you be creative? Why can't you say, maybe let me start up something, let me sell this, then I get the money, take care of myself instead of waiting. Maybe I should run, I should seek asylum. So I think it comes back to the laziness.
And still life is not easy out there still, because still this remains your home, and life out there, life is not easy as maybe some people presume. So, and even there is, I think also our society needs more. Maybe today I will throw this to our leaders, because these young men, these young girls, they have not had that chance to get more enlightenment about the process of asylum. This goes to the leaders to tell these people how the process goes. Maybe even if it will be a session for the community, I don't know whether through social media, everywhere, but people have to be given how the system works.
It doesn't take you looking up. You don't need to live the life of a celebrity activist to make a change in your own communities. Just like it comes back to the issue of we see so many people going to seeking asylum. Their reason for seeking asylum is because I'm assuming that is a better life. I want to be a jet setter, like a jet setting activist. It isn't. It shouldn't be like that. There is, I think, the movement needs to come back down, and we give credit to the people doing the grassroots work. Let's build grassroots connections. Currently, our movement stands at that point where it's branded by the names. There are names that are tagged to the movement. When you talk about, I don't know, LGBTI, people are going to spot out certain faces that we assume without those faces, the movement is nothing, which is not it. You have a lot of people doing groundwork, doing the actually reaching out to the other unknown people. The LGBTI is living in the worst areas of Uganda. It will be very important for the community to build on that. We have very many upcoming activists, very, very good ones, but we do not take time to build them. We are still looking up to the celebrity activists.
It's time to put in practice what we have been told. To be serious, there have been many capacity building programs, many workshops in the community. But maybe people, after going back, they throw the message they had under their beds. I think this is time to put in practice. But again, also that goes in hand with the commitment and time to put in practice what we have been told. To be serious, there have been many capacity building programs, many workshops in the community. But maybe people, after going back, they throw the message they had under their beds. I think this is time to put in practice. But again, also that goes in hand with the commitment and the willingness to learn more and everything. So we are past that stage. People should put in practice what they have been told or what they have been trained to, and also we should take away this motive of saying each and everything. I have to me. You are a special person. You have to be treated like as maybe you may be an extraordinary citizen. In Uganda, Ugandan, you have to work, to survive. So I encourage people to work. Even if you're saying, maybe some even are saying I can't go to search for the book because I know I will be fired, try and search out something to do, because nothing comes on the silver plate. You have to work to survive.
I think I urge everyone to be hardworking, be very creative, because since some people assume that they won't be allowed to work in the offices, other big offices, but at least you can do something for yourself. We should take away that self-pity bit of it, then at least we try hard. Then, because we've seen successful gay people, other successful people who belong to the LGBTI community.
Alright, thank you for watching. Till next time.